Please take out this worksheet and we're going to go ahead and take some notes on writing equations of lines, and I want you to note that this is a summary of what we've been doing. So the very first thing we're going to do is fill in the forms of lines that we all know. So slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Point-slope form is y minus y1 equals slope m times x minus x1. And standard form is ax plus by equals c. Now for our first problem, they gave us the slope-intercept form, or y equals 2x plus 5. And our job is to write the same equation in its point-slope form, and then in its standard form, and then we're going to graph that function. So let's go ahead and start off with what we know. When something's written in slope-intercept form, I know the slope and I know the y-intercept. So in this case, I know that the slope is 2, or 2 over 1, and I know that the y-intercept is at the location 0, 5. Now if I want to write this in point-slope form, I need a point and I need the slope. Well, I can do this. I can use what's given here to write this equation in point-slope form, because this is a point and this is the slope. So if I plug those values into point-slope form, here's what I get. If I use this as my x sub 1 and my y sub 1, I'll get y minus 5 equals 2 times x minus 0. And take a look what I did. The m was my 2, and then my x sub 1 is 0, and my y sub 1 is 5. So right now, so far, I have my slope-intercept form, I have my point-slope form, and the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can take one of these forms to write my equation in standard form. My standard form is really similar to slope-intercept form. So I just want to point out that if you have something in slope-intercept form, you should use this to write it in standard form. So my standard form is going to come from y equals 2x plus 5. Now what you should notice is that the ax and the by are both on the left-hand side and the constant is on the right. Now when I look at slope-intercept form, this is almost standard form, except the 2x is on the wrong side. So if I subtract 2x from both sides, I end up getting negative 2x plus y, negative 2x plus y equals 2x minus 2x is 0, 5. And there is my standard form. Now in order to graph, we can really use any number of ways to graph. My favorite way to graph is using slope-intercept form. So where do we begin, and then how do we move? So they're saying that I should begin at 0, 5. So 0, 5 is right here at this point. And if I'm going to move with the slope of 2, I'm going to go ahead and make that into a fraction so I can see the rise or fall over the run. And this tells me to rise 2 and run 1. So from this point I'm going to rise 2, run 1, and drop a point. Now you really only need 2 points to mark a line, so I'm going to go ahead and draw a beautiful line through those 2 points. Our next question gives us the point-slope form first. So y minus 3 equals negative 2 times x plus 4. Now I'm going to use this point-slope form to try to figure out what the same line looks like in slope-intercept form and then in standard form. Now what is it that you can see if you're just looking at point-slope form? Well, if I just look at this, I should be able to pull out the slope and some point. So let's see, I see that the slope is negative 2. And I also see a point. This is my x sub 1 and my y sub 1. That means my point is at negative 4, positive 3. you should note that the opposite of what I see is what I'm writing here, and that's because my form itself has a negative in there. It's saying put in the opposite of y sub 1 and the opposite of x sub 1. So now I'm going to see if this information is enough for me to write my slope-intercept form. For slope-intercept form, I need the slope and the y-intercept. Well, this gives me the slope, but it doesn't give me the y-intercept. So I'm going to take y minus 3 equals negative 2 times x plus 4, and I'm going to see if I can manipulate this equation to get it in point-slope form. To get it in slope-intercept form. First, I'm going to distribute my negative 2, which gives me y minus 3 equals negative 2x minus 8. Well, that's almost in slope-intercept form. If I add 3 to both sides, I end up getting y equals negative 2x minus 5. Now here's the great news. There's my slope-intercept form and my point-slope form. Now I'm really close to standard form. Now if you remember, we took slope-intercept form and we moved the x term to the other side to put it in standard form. So if I add 2x, I'll get 2x plus y equals negative 5. There's my standard form. Now again, if I want to graph this function, I've got a lot of choices. I could begin at negative 5 and then go down to over 1. But just for fun, let's graph using point-slope form. Let's graph from here. They gave me a point and they gave me the slope. So they gave me the point negative 4, 3. So negative 4, 3 is right here at this point. Sorry guys, it's kind of hard for me to see with my pen. And my slope is negative 2 over 1. So down 2 over 1. So I'll go down 2 over 1. There's my next point. Down 2 over 1. Make a point. If I connect these points, I can make a beautiful line through negative 4, 3. And these 2 points I found by using the slope. My last problem gives me the standard form, or negative 2x plus 4y equals negative 8. Now your job is going to be to take this standard form and first to write it in slope-intercept form and then to go into point-slope form. So I'm going to take negative 2x plus 4y equals negative 8, and I'm going to manipulate this to solve for y by first adding 2x to both sides, and I get 4y equals 2x minus 8. Then dividing by 4 to get the y alone, to which I get y equals 1/2 x minus 2. Now why 1/2? Because 2/4 is the same as 1/2. And negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2. So far I was given my standard form and I found my slope-intercept form, and now I need to find my point-slope form. So I know from my slope-intercept form that my slope is 1 over 2 and that my y-intercept is 0, negative 2. So I have a point and my slope. That's perfect for writing the point-slope form. So if I use this for my x sub 1 and my y sub 1, I can go straight to my point-slope form, which is y minus y1, notice I changed the sign, equals m times x minus x sub 1. Now that I have all 3 forms, I'm ready to graph. This time I'm going to graph using slope-intercept form. So I'm going to begin at 0, negative 2. I'm going to begin at 0, negative 2. And I'm going to rise 1 and run 2. Rise 1, run 2, and drop a point. Rise 1, run 2, and drop a point. And if I connect those points, I can create a beautiful line. Okay, now we're ready for an appointment book directions. So here's what you're going to do. In a moment, not yet, not until you're given directions to do this, you're going to stand up and walk around the classroom and find people to have an appointment with at these different times. Now, the rules are they cannot be from the same table that you're at, and you can't have an appointment with the same person twice. So again, make sure you are not making appointments with people from your same table, and don't make an appointment with the same person twice. Now you're going to walk around the classroom. You'll only have 2 minutes to do this, and then when we count down, you're going to need to return to your seat with all 4 of these filled up. Ready? Go. Okay, so 2 minutes have gone by, I hope, and everyone's in their assigned seats. Is there anyone out there who does not have a 12 o'clock appointment? If you don't have a 12 o'clock appointment, go ahead and stand. Okay? If there's anybody standing, go ahead and make an appointment with someone else who's also standing. All right, have a seat. Let's do 1 o'clock now. Is there anyone who does not have a 1 o'clock appointment? Go ahead and stand up. Okay. Anyone who's standing, go ahead and make appointments with each other. Next one. How about 2 o'clock? Is there anyone who does not have an appointment at 2 o'clock? Stand up. Okay. If you're standing, make an appointment with someone else who's also standing. Last one. Is there anyone who does not have an appointment at 3 o'clock? Stand up. Okay. Go ahead and make an appointment with someone else who's also standing. Okay, get ready. I'm going to give you your next directions. Now, in a second, I'm going to tell you that it's 12 o'clock. At 12 o'clock, you're going to meet with your 12 o'clock appointment and complete only the first row on the back of your paper. So in just a minute, I'm going to tell you it's 12 o'clock, and that's when you're going to meet your 12 o'clock appointment. Quickly sit down, and then you're going to do these 2 boxes right here. When indicated by your teacher, they will tell you next that it's 1 o'clock, and then you'll meet with your 1 o'clock appointment and only do these 2 problems. And then for 2 o'clock, and so on and so on. Now, for 3 o'clock, you're going to be graphing your equation from your 12 o'clock appointment here, your 1 o'clock appointment here, and your 2 o'clock appointment here. Now, you should have about 2 to 3 minutes for each appointment, and when it's time, listen to your teacher and they'll tell you when it's time to rotate. Good luck and have fun.